Cinderella was the perfect name for Warhol in the 60s, the combination of Dracula and Cinderella.
Andy was an enabler.
Really? Nobody wanted his artwork at the time.
I think he's queen of the pop art.
He was the one that had the guts to save the Velvet Underground.
And these guys yelled at us, "You fucking play that again, we'll beat the shit out of you."
On drugs, on speed, on amphetamine.
These were people who were non-functional, dysfunctional.
I never in my life believed that these things would be considered films.
He did 2 hours of my ass. I have the most famous ass in the world.
A glittering facade?
A glittering facade.
Silver goes with stars.
I don't have any favorite color because I decided silver was the only thing around.
Well, I met Andy. I was just paying my rent by being a waiter. Gay wasn't the word then, but it was mostly faggots. What everybody was who was successful. I mean, there's no really kind term to express the homosexual world before the gay revolution happened.
I would say that the factory, from the moment it opens its doors, was the most intelligent art commune in the world. Here was another very high level think tank, sort of communal artistic gathering place,
And Taylor Mead read his poem, The Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, and let me blow them.
Well, we were all protesting. It was revolutionary time.
I impersonated Andy and that whole jazz. They actually believe I look like him, and they believe that I am just like him probably, except that I don't have money, or maybe.
Our rent was $70 a month. And in it lived me, Jackie Curtis, Hollywood Lawn, occasionally Candy Darling, Rita Red, Rio Grande, all in a one-bedroom apartment. And it's not like we interfered with each other's sleeping arrangements since no one slept. Everyone was just on speed all the time.
Okay, I'm not really a Nazi. I'm that other historical figure that came to prominence in the middle of the last century. I am a nightclub entertainer.
Bill's Beer House in Bilbao, Bilbao was the most fantastic place I've ever known. For just $1, you'd get all you wanted, all you wanted.
Really happened as a reaction to the way that the rest of the world treated Germany following World War I. The Weimar Constitution was formed. The Weimar Constitution created Germany's first democracy. Germany had never known such a thing before. Poetry, writing, filmmaking, and of course music. It was all just busting wide open because self-expression was suddenly allowed in a way that it never had been before. The Nazis started to take hold. The Berlin cabarets got more and more biting in their parody, and Friedrich Hollander was at the forefront of that.
So, here's a little history lesson by way of a Friedrich Hollander Weimar cabaret song circa 1921. Not so long ago the Germans thirsted after blood. We had half the world in trenches crawling through the mud. Victory was in our grasp as we launched U-boat fleets. Back at home our women starved or else they worked the streets. From Attila on we had a standing line of heroes. So how come this time we end up with a bunch of zeros? The naval mutiny made it clear for all to see the status quo just had to go in Germany.
It was verboten to be homosexual. Just for example, when the concentration camps were liberated and everyone else was set free, the gay men had to serve out their sentences. It was very, very harsh in Germany to be gay.
Marlene Dietrich was the poster girl for the Weimar Republic. She became the poster girl for the Weimar Republic when she starred in Joseph von Sternberg's Der blaue Engel. That's the movie in which she sang, "Falling in love with you, never more. What am I can't take."
Following the Weimar Republic came Hitler's regime, and he shut everything down to such a degree. It's sort of like an isometrics exercise, you know. The Kaiser had contained everything so tightly, and then Hitler contained everything so tightly, and in between was this just expansive growth of creativity. How did Hitler come to power? Well, there was so much freedom during the Weimar Republic that the Nazis could step in. They had every bit as much of a right to say and spread flyers and circulars as anybody else. Freedom of speech is such an important freedom, but it's a responsibility. And there is a responsibility to use our freedom of speech to talk down hate speech.
Our story is not comprehensive nor symbolic, but small and hard and real for some, perhaps for many. Because a lesbian is a real thing, insistent if unpopular. A perspective, specific and narrow. How to speak with a collective but non-generalized voice.
Why? They ask each other, giving themselves as an answer, draped in many silks, and the astonishment swells their breasts with their whole body asking each other and saying, because it's you, and the musical harmony of the astonishment is the answer. With one hand, suffering, living, putting your finger on pain, loss.
Let joy go solace winged, to flutter whom she may concern.
January. Fortunately, when someone says woman, we still don't know what that means, even if we know what we want to mean.
We address a very special audience, as Barnes herself will come to say. That selective sisterhood is perhaps less necessary to know, for they will know themselves.